Here we go. Okay, I'm very happy to be here again with you. And yeah, let's simply start a beautiful sharing. Connie, sweetheart, hello, Tony, Zanderlinchen. Yeah, yeah, just simply start and let me just maybe do an intro sentence. I'm very fast always. Yeah. Full on booming aliveness, whatever this means. Unfuckable, unstoppable, unknowable, and not even this. Okay.
Wow.
What can we do with that shit?
I don't know. It's just innocently coming out here.
I just found out you were a tennis player, Rosa.
Oh, I was. This was fun. This was
So,
cool.
okay, I'll have to remember that when we're interacting. I'll think of it in terms of match point and game set and match.
Oh yeah. Yeah, beautiful,
I
beautiful
saw that I
time.
saw the video of you and Sanda talking to that Indian guy. What's his name? Very cheerful kind of
He's
guy
so nice.
3 months
Yeah,
ago.
yeah, 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 yeah.
What's his
Zukdev,
name?
Somebody,
Zukdev, Zukdev.
Suka.
a friend of mine, a Facebook friend of mine. We used to run a group together, but it just kind of died. He's Israeli. He's in Israel, but he's from the Netherlands, and I kind of mentioned something, so he went on a search and found all of these videos, and he sent me a message on Messenger, and he said, "This Rosa, she seems to be eating on every video." So I said, "Well, that's just how it is. That's just how it is."
Just simply
So
all the
Tommy,
cookie crumbles.
what did you mention to this guy? You can tell the whole story.
Oh, I'd rather not say. Well,
What is there to
are we?
hide?
Well,
What is there to hide? Come on, come on.
Patricia, sweetheart, hey girl.
oh, I think he described you as he described you as a Tony Parsons clone.
Oh my God.
Who? What?
Yeah,
I missed it.
you're
What
a
are you talking about, guys?
Tony Parsons clone.
Who?
No, this friend of mine, he was watching some videos, and yeah, no, just a little discussion about what people say.
Yeah, Tony here, by the way. In a way, it's new for me not to have appetite, but nevertheless, I
Oh,
prepared my dinner bowl. Let's see if hunger is going to show up. It's new.
well, as it's the middle of the night for me, before I logged on, I had some chocolate cake.
Beautiful. Very cool. So, kein Apfelstrudel, but a chocolate cake. Connie, sweetheart,
No,
what's up?
no,
What was it? German chocolate cake? That's my favorite.
Schokoladenkuchen.
German chocolate is
no.
my
It wasn't. It was from a local bakery near me, baked by a Thai woman who makes this excellent baking. It was excellent baking skills. So there we
Yeah,
go.
beautiful.
But it wasn't. No, it was chocolate nut chocolate.
Hmm. Here, let me hear. The thoughts are moving fast. So when you mentioned the chocolate cake, automatically I was just like watching on YouTube because I had simply no
Jealous,
time
jealous. No, you were jealous. You were jealous that
no
you didn't have some food
the
in front
last
of you. That's what
sweetheart
it
no
was.
the last few months I simply had more time and I innocently so it happened that I watched cooking videos about
Ah,
bakeries and chocolate and yeah, for you can find everything there, you know, the different cultures cooking. unbelievable. I was kind of, oh my gosh, I love food, so this was for me amazing.
Yeah.
And what happened?
Cooking shows are very popular.
Yeah, but it was. I simply noticed how I got completely absorbed while watching. In a way, I'm everything. I'm all over the place. I'm the food. I'm the cooking. I'm every. It's
Oh
crazy, very
wow.
intensive. And now yesterday, this happened in a way with interesting stuff popped up. It was about mental disease, it was about schizophrenic, it was about paranoia, it was about depression.
Hmm.
Amazing, amazing. About disabilities like dying, bodies being born, dying with wow, wow. This was amazing. I was just like I was melting into all those movies. I couldn't stop watching because this body needs rest. So I simply sit here and watch. And this was so obvious, no choice in pressing stop or continuing to watch. And why I'm telling this,
Don't
um,
know.
this was really like
Who
amazing
you
to
asking? Why
see.
are you asking? Should we know why you're telling this?
I simply want to share this unbelievable like diving into the stories of the people like with schizophrenia or with paranoia, like this illusory chats in the mind and really like feeling threatened and in a constant fear, um like really needing medical help, medicine in order to in a way be able to do anything. It was amazing. It was amazing. I was stunned
Eva,
by.
were you hiding on the tennis court all your life, or is this like
Here
So
it's
so
like
let me get this straight. It was a schizophrenic cooking show.
from
the cook
disabled people?
the cooking was before, but this was like really very very interesting. I'm just mentioning this. And also, sweetheart Zanderlinchen, I thought of you because you were working with drug addicts, right? And
Mhm.
there popped up a channel, a beautiful YouTube channel. And I also thought of Emerson, because it was in Vancouver, and this guy was kind of interviewing exactly the people there on the streets with the drugs, with also the prostitutes and how they earn money. And this was amazing to see. I was just like, wow. So this is my sharing here. Thanks for sharing. If there is something coming up, feel free.
Well, I knew a couple of schizophrenics, and it's not pretty. It's not pretty at all. One of
Yeah,
them, unfortunately, took his life, but yeah, anyway,
yeah,
that's what it is. That's what it is.
that's what it is. Exactly. It's booming aliveness.
Yeah,
I
taking
went
your life,
to
right? Let's
I
talk
went
about
to a I went to a Buddhist cremation recently. That was interesting.
What
Quite different to European style.
Okay. You want to share?
Yeah, it's interesting because it's a different view of death. Where I am in Thailand, being a Buddhist country, there's a different view of death, I think, than you might encounter in the West. And so I turned up at this Buddhist temple, and there's sort of one part of it in the corner is where this crematorium is, right? And you arrive, and everyone's having a party. Everyone's preparing food, and obviously there's grief. You can see there's grief there, but at the same time, everyone's preparing this sort of meal, and then you sort of sit down And then these monks come in, about 9 or 10 monks come in, and they do some chanting, and you sort of sit down and listen to that for a while. And then they get their food first. The monks get their food first, and then after that, everybody eats, and that goes on for quite a while. And in the meantime, just in the corner there, you've got this very ornate kind of big box in which inside is this coffin, and then there's a photo. They usually put a photo, and then there's lots of flowers and that kind of thing. Anyway, when you get through all of the the eating and all the rest of it, they then open up this big box and they take out this coffin, which is actually just made out of plywood. It's made out of plywood, nothing fancy, because they burn that too. You see, so
But it's
nobody
in a
goes to.
box. You don't see
Yeah,
the
but
head.
I'll come to that. But so it's inside, but it's a very cheap. It's just plywood because it's burnt as well. So they take that out and they put it onto this kind of barrow. And then from that barrow, there's this really long white cord that is attached to the barrow. And what they do is they move the coffin slowly towards the little building, which is the crematorium. And you walk around that building 3 times. And the cord is put out and everybody grabs hold of the cord. So you've got the coffin behind on this kind of barrow, and then everyone is just holding the cord all the way along the length of the cord, which is kind of symbolic of connection, everything is connected, that kind of thing. So you walk slowly around 3 times, and then you stop, and then someone goes up the steps, and you've got, it's all very explicit. You've got this door of this crematorium, and you like with this one, you could see the like blackened paintwork outside the door. So it's always exposed. Look, like in the West, they're so good at hiding all of this because a coffin will come in, and then in the sophisticated ones, it'll sort of disappear. It goes down under the floor. You don't see anything. But what they do is they take the coffin up there and then they put it just outside the door of the crematorium. And then there's more sort of chanting and the monks doing their sort of thing. And then they take the lid off. And then everybody goes up the steps, and then they get this kind of scented water. It's got herbs in it and that kind of thing. And you sort of take like a little cup, and you go to the coffin, and there's the body. And then you pour this sort of all over. Everybody does that one by one. It's all very, exposed. There's nothing hidden. And then everybody comes back down again. People start taking photos. They love doing that. And then this guy who's in charge of it all, he comes up and then he pours into the coffin gasoline, and then they put it in there, and then he lights some joss sticks, and then he does some kind of stuff with the joss sticks, and then he puts the joss sticks in there, and then that's it. Okay, and then that's all done, and everybody eventually leaves, and then the next morning, the close relatives go there in the early morning, and the temple takes out the ashes, and they're just there. They're on a sort of like a more or less on the ground, just this pile of ashes. And the monks are coming along, and then they're sort of picking through it, trying to find a good bit. And then, well, as it happened, the wife of this guy, just takes some ashes or something just to take away. But it's all very exposed. It's all very open. It's not hidden away like it is in the West. It's very much in your face.
It's kind of a celebration. Yeah, celebration.
Yeah. No, it's very
Beautiful.
very
This reminds me, thanks for sharing, Tony. This reminds me, by the way, of Karl Renz. I love listening to Karl Renz. It's a German guy, and he's quite jokey with the language, playing with the language, and he always say like, "What the fuck? Why are people celebrating birthdays? I mean, come on. This is
oh.
like the worst thing ever to be born." You know, this must be like in a way this must be like as if someone is dying in a way. The moment you are born, the body is born, it already starts to compost, to die. It's a dying process already. So it's not a celebration. It's kind of a oh, what a shit. Okay, we can put it. It's just what's coming up here. And yeah, Tony, thanks for sharing. Sweethearts on the Lintje.
Well, yeah, this reminds me of you know, in India they burn also, and then the head, you know, it's the most of the time it's the head which is rolling off, you know, at the guts, because that burns easy. So I was wondering, did you see did you stay for the burning? Did you see the flesh burning from the bones?
Oh no, because it's enclosed. So once they shut the door, no, it's actually inside, you know, a
You
building.
don't see the body burning, no.
No, you don't. You don't see that. It's just, of course, yes, in India, of course, it's very exposed. And then in India, they're supposed to break the skull, aren't they, to let the spirit out?
So, sometimes there are these types of rituals, yes, where they you know they break the skull or whatever. It's probably the sadhus who have such rituals, yeah. Yeah, it's funny here. We burn the dogs, you know, when they die. We burn them, and then we sit there and watch them burn. Yeah, I know. You know that it's just, you know, in some countries it all seems to be very clinical, and other countries there seems to have big celebrations, and I mean, yeah, there seems to be a lot around that, you know.
Well, the Thais are very jolly about it because they say, well, you're going to be born again, so
Yeah, of course, you know,
no problem.
Yeah, when there is this idea or belief that you know, the next life maybe you will make it, then of course it's a celebration. You know, that because yes, you get a new chance to get enlightened, right? There's a
Yeah.
new chance.
It's so funny to see how like the different countries, traditions, mindsets, yeah, ideas, beliefs are in a way, this is in a way the game. That's how the cookie crumbles. Celebrating the death or like crying like I don't know what because someone died. Well, that's it. And this is in a way, that's the show, that's the joke. That's it. And it's wow. It's amazing to see. And nowadays you can
Rosa,
really just click on a video and watch the show. It's amazing.
I thought you weren't hungry.
I try to eat a little bit, sweetheart.
Okay.
Tony Guri, do you want to share something? What's up there?
Today, your introduction, your short and amazing introduction, was about aliveness, no? Full on, this is alive, vivid. No, some speakers speak about energy, but it's aliveness, vividness. And this is so aliveness, so vivid, because of death. Because of death. And we have ended up speaking about death. It's fantastic. Death and life. On the one hand, it seems the opposites. But on the other hand, we don't know what are we celebrating, life or death? Both. Both. Because really are inseparable. Death celebrating death. This aliveness is dying. Wow, what a beauty. Death, aliveness is the same. Well, here, yeah, seeing these traditions, these coffins, life and death, celebration, sorrow and joy, inseparable, not two.
Yeah, Tony, nice. Now, hey, Giovanni, cool that you're there. I was thinking about when I go to bed to sleep. I love it. I love just to die. We can put it like this. And this is for me booming aliveness. This is booming aliveness.
The moment when you realize that you are disappearing, no, sleeping, but it's like dying, it's so comforting.
It's just like, it's just, I just love it. Maybe this is the most beautiful thing, just to not be there. And at the same time, of course, there is like Rosa waking up in the morning. You see, it's for me, it's the same. It's just booming aliveness, no matter if it's in this deep sleep. And when we go, and what is in this deep sleep? I don't know. I don't know. But here also, I don't know. It's the same. There is no difference.
There's no suffering in deep sleep.
But here is, in a way, is here suffering in being awake? Is here suffering?
You're asking me?
Everyone?
No. No suffering.
Well, there's no suffering here, but
no suffering.
Patricia?
But
Sweetheart?
there's no sense of dying when sleeping. I mean, it's all the same.
no one experiences being born and no one experiences dying.
Exactly.
No,
We talked about
no one
this,
experiences going to sleep either. Yeah, no one experiences going to sleep either. You know, people talk about falling asleep. They say, "Oh, I'm falling asleep." That's not really true.
No.
You're either asleep or you're awake. It's completely kind of binary, right? But you kind of feel it because maybe you're feeling a bit drowsy or something like that. But you're either awake or you're asleep. So that's it, right? So it's that's why there's no experience of being born or no experience of dying.
Exactly. Nor of sleep or awakeness. Not as an actuality.
Actuality is like actuality is putting a kind of label on it. I'm just simply talking about, you know, the experience of being awake and being asleep or being in the dream state. It's like a switch. I'm saying there's nothing gradual about going to sleep, although it might seem that way. You're either awake or you're not.
Well, I won't say that, but yeah, you can say it that way. But there's no one, you know, actually falling into sleep or falling out of sleep into wakefulness.
Yes.
As a separated someone falling into sleep and falling into awakeness. You know, what there seems to be is a body, you know, sleeping and a body waking up, and there may be a sense that you are that body, or you know, there may be an identification with the physical form or not. It's nothing more to it. There may be a sense I'm waking up, but in a way, that's just waking up, and maybe, you know, an hour later, and somebody asks you what, yeah, and then you say I woke up, but you know, there's the I is added to the so-called event. There's just waking up. There's no one separated waking up, no one separated falling asleep.
Oh, well, that's the difference, isn't it? There's no I in deep sleep.
Well, there's no I in wakefulness either.
Well, there is. Say it. I. Say I.
As a separate. As a separate.
Come on, say it. Say I.
Well, there's just I. Here you go. there's just I, but there's no separate I sleeping or separate I waking. So there's just what is. But yes, there's just I, but there's no separated I. We can say there's just me. But I mean, all these things is in a way also just flipping coins, like saying there's no choice. That's not, it's not completely true, of course, that there is no choice. There is a choice and there's no choice simultaneously. I mean, whole day there are choices being made. There's just simply no one making the choices as a separated you choosing. It doesn't mean that there are choices. Yes, there's choices. Likewise, there's doing or not doing, but there's no one separated doing the doing or the not doing. It's the same with knowing. If you give a non-duality speaker $40 instead of 80 for his weekend retreat, he knows that it's not 80, that he gets 40. It's just bullshit. So there is knowing and there's knowing at the same time and not even. It's just all a certain type of fine game being played by no one. The radical non-duality game.
And we can go and say, well, everything is business. Nothing wrong with business.
Yeah, the whole of life, the way we function is transactional, isn't it? We're always making a transaction, whether it's with money or not. There's always some kind of transaction. You give me something, I want something from you, whatever, is a transaction, right?
Yeah, and it's beautiful. That's just how it seems to function. There's nothing wrong with the transactions.
Oh no, nothing wrong at all.
No, there's nothing wrong with anything, so to say. I mean, more than the idea that it can be wrong, which is not wrong already.
Unless you think it is.
Yes, and that too is just simply innocently happening, right, Tony? Spontaneously as anything else.
That's
Also,
correct.
Garrett, sweetheart Garrett, hello. What's up there?
Some trouble with my computer.
Yeah, I see this, sweetheart.
I tried to put it on this little thing, this, what do you call it?
Tablet? iPad?
Yes, but it's hard to work on a little thing like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what I'm doing, Gareth, because I'm a real techie kind of, person. I'm actually doing this on an Android tablet, but I'm mirroring it to a big screen TV.
Oh, golly.
Just so that I can see a really big image of Rosa.
Yes, yeah. That's good, yeah. Have I missed a good part of the show this evening?
Yes, Garrett, you did. You missed the booming part, but who cares? It doesn't matter. It's really about nothing. But at the same time, it's about everything. So what to say? You missed it and you didn't.
You missed the chance. You missed the real chance to become free. Sorry.
I might have had a glimpse.
A glimpse. A glimpse.
If I write down the words, write down the letters, I can say the word. Glimp, G-L-I-M-P-S. Is it? Glimpse. Glimpse.
Glimpse. Garrett, you're a glimpse right now here for me. What a beautiful glimpse.
A glimpse, yeah. Has any of you or your colleagues had a glimpse?
Come again?
Have you had a glimpse, you or your colleagues this evening? Have you ever had a glimpse?
Patricia?
Patricia.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Tell us about it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, tell us about it.
Well, it depends how you define a glimpse.
However you like.
I went to see what they call the Divine Mother, Amma, the hugging mother. in London.
I had a hug from her in London as well about 30 years ago. Hey.
Well, this might have been about 20 years ago, I think. Anyway, so, well, you know what it's like then. She's a very powerful lady, and so we had to wait our turn to get up, you know, and get the hug. And of course, on the way up, you know, I was in just like floods of tears. And then you get the hug and you've got the chance to just sit on the stage beside her. There's hundreds of people there, of course. So anyway, I was there with a friend, and we had gone down from Edinburgh. So we had to leave and get the train back up to Edinburgh. And on the way to the station, I started talking to those just people. And I'm chatting away to them. My friend's going, you know, hurry up, we need to get going to catch the train. Right, okay. So we got on the train, and as we're heading up to Edinburgh, she turned and said to me, "Why were you talking to these down and outs?" I went, "What do you mean?" And she said that they were just drunk. And I says, "Well, I didn't see any difference." So I wasn't aware of anything. I actually, at the time, I could smell alcohol, but there was no judgment or anything. So if that was a glimpse, then that's a glimpse. There was like there was no judgment of who they were. So I don't know. That's a glimpse. That's a glimpse.
Beautiful, Patricia.
Garrett was gone, Garrett. He wanted to know.
Yeah, the connection is